Hey everyone. So today I'm here with a action related topic. So if you may or may not know, I wrapped up a social anxiety era of my content production, and I have a free ebook resource that really helps, that I think really can shift the way you view social anxiety in the first place so that it can stop affecting you in a negative way. And again, it's completely free. And how to get it is you just enter your email in the link that I will put down in the descriptions below. Right. So now my project is the action formula and how to understand the topic of action from sometimes it's so easy, and that's my goal to you. I want you to take action in the things that you want to do with like effortlessness, right? But sometimes some actions make us feel like it's a massive energy sink and we feel really bad about it. So in that context, today I want to talk about the topic of rest. So rest is like a lot of people don't take enough rest because they feel bad about, like they feel lazy basically. And lazy equals bad. And a lot of people kind of are inadvertently, they're not really doing anything, right? Because doing anything feels intimidating. So to the outsider, it looks like they're not really doing anything, therefore resting. But when your mind is occupied with all the guilt about your inaction, then it becomes an energy sink, which is what we want to avoid in the action formula, right? So, in explaining rest, right? If you recall from previous video, action formula is basically composed of two parts. Action is the outcome of the math between your desire to do something and your unwillingness to do something. And so when your desire to do something is really big and the unwillingness to do it is really small, you get effortless action. It's so easy. It just flows out of you, automatic. If you don't really want to do it, and at the same time you have a big unwillingness and guilt around it, it becomes an energy sink. You're not doing anything and you actively feel bad about it, right? So with that, let's examine rest in this lens. So the desire to rest is like everybody wants to rest because we feel tired, right? Our body demands rest by becoming sick when we get overworked. And we want to take vacations. We want to stop and smell the roses, so to speak. So that desire to rest is always more or less there. And now, how we can grow the desire is by hype and by reducing perfectionism. So the hype from rest is you can amplify that hype by really associating into that really peaceful and comfortable feeling of rest. And, just take a moment to really just slouch on your chair and just feel that comfort, right? Just briefly logging out of the world's stresses. Your eyelids are just so heavy. If you've gotten high before, maybe it's like that. Maybe if you got really drunk but in a really like comfortable way and you just want to pass out on your bed, maybe it's that feeling, right? Feeling that's gonna feel so nice for your body, especially if you have muscle aches or if you have fatigue in some parts of your body. That rest is gonna feel so good. And the more you can get in touch with that feeling of really good rest, the easier it is to think about rest and get excited for it. It's like, oh, I can't wait to go home and just relax. I can't wait to just go home and play Zelda. I can't wait to just switch onto my pajamas and just feel comfortable. Practicing getting into that feeling, associating into that sense is what's gonna build up hype for resting. And now we want to reduce perfectionism, right? And how to reduce perfection. Like, what is even perfectionism with rest? And perfectionism with rest is more or less like you need a specific condition and a ritual to feel relaxed, right? It's sort of this mindset of, oh, I can't feel relaxed because I'm not at a beach. I can't relax because it's not the weekend yet. You have this like preconceived, very hard and rigid notion of what rest is. And if rest doesn't fit that category, then it becomes kind of like you kind of block yourself from resting in a very in and out kind of a manner, right? And so rest can be a very playful thing. You can go in and weave in and out of rest, and that's what really could keep you going, right? And rest doesn't have to be like, okay, I'm resting, therefore I'm not going to do anything. You can take a break from your social life, but still be engaged in your professional life. You can take a break from your professional life, but be engaged in social. And you can take a break from your physical things, but be engaged in spiritual things or mental things, right? So going in and out and making rest a more accessible thing by reducing your perfectionism is gonna what's grow the desire for rest. Therefore, making it kind of automatically available. And now we talk about the unwillingness to rest, which is a real thing, right? And the unwillingness to rest, I think, really is about our perception of us when we're not doing things. So when you're not doing something, when you're not working, when you're not cooking, when you're not cleaning your house, when you're just kind of there, how do you perceive yourself in that state? So simply ask, like I'm asking you right now, when you just are, and nothing else, when you just are, does that feel comfortable? Or do you have to constantly be doing something to prove your worth, to be worthy of something? And therefore, by not doing those things, you become a slouch, you become a lazy person, you become like not a valuable person, you just end up becoming this bad person. You just start sucking, right? This kind of mentality is really what blocks rest. Because when you're not doing anything, you're more or less just are. And when you have a bad relationship with that, it can really grow the unwillingness to rest. But the thing is, like, you're valuable regardless of what you do or not, because you're born into this world and you impact other people's lives. You cause other people impact, which means their lives' trajectories have changed just because of your presence. And resting doesn't really make you fall behind, because progress is sometimes very non-linear, right? Sometimes even when we do things nonstop, we feel like we backtrack. And so who's to say that when you rest, you don't necessarily like not progress, right? So it's worth really thinking about, what do I really think about not doing anything? What do I think about rest? And really having an accurate answer for why you are unwilling to rest, and kind of really deep diving into that and evaluating, is that true? Does that serve me? That can really reduce the unwillingness to rest. And I mean, compared to the desire part, the unwillingness to rest part is really personal, because there's no like one answer of why people don't like to rest. And so I hope these kind of questions evoke a sense of like curiosity in your mind, so that you can evaluate your relationship with rest. But as always, if you want to talk to someone about resting, if you want to talk to someone about your problems, I'm right here. I don't charge for my coaching sessions. So if you're interested and if you want to get a head start on just really looking at your life in a different perspective so that you can live the way you want, email me at billy@julylifecoach.com or use the link in the description below. Thanks, and I'll see you in the next video.